Here's another lesson, how to use the isometric grid to create some cool designs in a Gravit designer. So let's get our pen tool here, and we're just going to create a basic cube, and we're going to incorporate some text into this. And with text, we tend to need to use what we call the SSR method, which is the scale, shear, and rotate. So I'm just going to make just a simple little shape there. I'll just V on the keyboard here, right-click on it, transform, and flip it horizontally. Let's actually make a copy of that first, Control-C, Control-V, and do it again, transform, flip horizontal, drag this over this way, boom, and then pen on the keyboard, P on the keyboard here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, great, awesome. We can color these whatever color we want. I'll just make it a series of like, I don't know, say for instance browns, so I'll get maybe more reddish here. I'll just start around that way, 1, 2, and 3. All right, so we have this little brown, maybe cardboard box here. Get rid of the strokes. Get rid of this grid here. And we've got a little box hanging out here. All right, so we're going to create some text on this. I'm going to go T on the keyboard here just to get my text tool. And click once. I'll just type the number 1 here. 1. And you can choose whatever text font you like here. I'm going to change this as big as I can get it. Say, for instance, 72. And I'll change this to maybe a thicker font. Like, how about Passion 1? That's good. I'm going to go over here. I'll just real quick grab my Move tool. And I'll just Alt-drag this out, change this to 2. And then I'll just Alt-drag this out, change this to 3. So this is just a simple array of text here. And we're going to place these on different sides of this cube. So I'll start off with 1. I'll have 1 be on the top. 1, 2, 3, right? So what we'll do is, first off, let's just grab all of these right here together. Right-click on all these, or select all these, right-click on them, and convert them to a path. Right, so they're each a path, so that way we can just grab them with the Move tool here and size them up. Size this up as well. And same with this one. Right? Doesn't matter how big they are now. We'll resize them later. But what we'll do here is we'll just right-click on this one. Actually, what we'll do is we'll go over here to our Transform window, and we'll do that same little SSR method. We'll scale the height, 86.602. Press Enter, and then hit Apply, and then I'll just squat that down just slightly. Let's set that back to 100%, and then we'll skew it, or shear it, negative 30 degrees. Apply that. And then we'll rotate it 30 degrees. Apply that. And now this will lay right here on this little space. Oh, oops, back it up here. What we'll do is we'll take this down to so we'll shear it 30 degrees, or skew it, or rather negative 30 degrees. Press Apply. And then we'll put this back to 0. And then we'll go over here and we'll rotate it 30 degrees. Apply. And then now it's sitting right there on top of that isometric plane. Beautiful. All right, so for these two here, for 2 and 3, we don't have to do much in the way of rotating. All we gotta do is this. We can just go over here to our Transform, and we'll go over here to Skew, like this, rotation 0, and I'll skew this 30 degrees. Let's apply this. Actually, let's do this skew on the y-axis. Apply, and we'll just move this right here, and we'll do this same thing to number 3 here, transform it, and we'll put negative 30 degrees and apply that, and we'll just put this right there. And so you can resize these as you like. I think 1 could be a little bit smaller. It takes up a little less room. I think I made it bigger beforehand. 3 could be a bit bigger. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just scale these, we'll color these up. Instead of having them be straight black and white, I'll just make this one dark gray, and this one a little lighter gray, and then this one even lighter gray. There we go, 1, 2, 3. So they fit inside that little color scheme. Let's put the grid back on for just a second. And what we'll do here is I'm just gonna grab my pen tool and just connect up here along the base of this square. Since this is our darkest side, it would make sense that our shadow would be coming down this way. And I'll just kind of pull this around. Okay, D on the keyboard, grab this, move this back to where it belongs. I'm going to set this to a gradient fill, a linear gradient. And I'll just make one stop be black. The first stop will be black. And I'll pull the opacity down to, say, for instance, the alpha down here to 50% or so. 50%-ish. And I'll click the other stop, and I'll make this one be 0%. And I'll just move these stops around here. Let's get back on here. I'll just grab these stops and just move them slightly to where we see the darker area here and the lighter area right about there. And that'll help us. So let's get, if you on the keyboard here, let's actually get rid of our border right there. And I'll get rid of my grid. And I'll just kind of lean this back. And let's just resize everything. Shift and Alt to shrink it down. And we can just place it wherever we want inside the artboard here. And hey, what the hey? Let's add in a background color to it. I'm just going to surround this with a rectangle. And I'm going to change the color to anything in particular, anything you like that, you know, maybe doesn't really clash with that. Maybe something like blue, like a grayish blue. It's good. We just drag this straight down our layers menu, and there we have it. We have a cool little box with some text on it. So that just applies to any old text. So we're going to, scale it, shear it, rotate it for the top, and we'll just scale it and shear it for the sides. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and export this as a JPEG, and can't wait to see what you guys produce. Keep on designing.